Today we're going to talk about two different elements that you will find on the rhetorical triangle. There is a difference between persuasion and argumentation. A lot of people do not realize that there actually is a difference, but there is. And we want to look at this chart today and discuss what those differences are so you'll be able to identify the different types of rhetoric that we have. This side of the chart shows you just exactly what persuasive writing or speaking would encompass. And this side of the chart is all about argumentative. It's actually pretty simple, but a lot of people get it mixed up. Let's say you're going to go to Burger King on a Friday night. When you pull up in front of Burger King and you see that sign of that juicy hamburger, that's persuasion. That's not argumentation. Nobody is arguing with you, except maybe the person in the car with you, about whether or not they are trying to persuade you to actually buy that cheeseburger. That's persuasion. It's all emotions. There's no counterclaim. There aren't facts, statistics, unless the sign talks about some kind of maybe the amount of fat that's in the burger. And usually restaurants are not going to do that because that's not very persuasive. Starting point in persuasive writing or speaking, you identify your top topic and then you choose your side. Everyone should get their children vaccinated because it's the best for the whole population. Okay, that's persuasion. But if you include research and you talk about why they should be vaccinated, the percentage of children who are vaccinated, how much that would help the population. When you're talking about argumentative writing or speaking, you give that research. So you're going one step further than what you've done with just simple persuasion. Your purpose in persuasion is just simply to get the reader to buy the cheeseburger. It's to get the reader to agree with your opinion because your opinion in your eyes is the only opinion. But when you're looking at argumentation, your purpose is different. It's not to just get them to simply do something. It's to get the reader to recognize that you've got a good point. What you're saying is actually, there's something to it. Now, when you're trying to persuade, you're just simply saying, do it because I say you should. You'll see a whole list of techniques for persuasion and a list for argumentation. Just to kind of sum it up, what you're going to have in argumentation that you're not going to have in persuasion is logic. You're going to have logos and you're going to have ethos, which is something that we've already talked about. When you're looking at persuasion, you're basically going to go on emotions, which is pathos. So anytime you have facts, statistics, you make a logical claim, and you talk about the other side of the story, you have argumentation. And the last thing, and this is probably one of the most important, is the tone. When you're looking at the tone that you have for persuasion, the tone in persuasion is just emotional. Mom, I want to go because I just want to go to the movies. Everybody's going to the movies. That's persuasion. But when you have a tone that is with argumentation, Mom, I want to see this movie because the actor, the main actor has been nominated for 16 Academy Awards. It focuses on endangered animals. So you're going to try to find valid points and you're going to use logic. So your tone is going to be much calmer. You're not going to pour your emotions into it, and you're going to try to persuade the reader or the listener, but you're going to use a much calmer tone. And you're going to say to that listener, I understand what you're saying, but I want you to listen to my point. So you not only talk about what your point is, you acknowledge that the other person has a point too, but you still stick with what you believe.